Hey, so it's Sunday, so it's church time. Get ready. So today we're going to talk about vulnerability, and we are going to talk a little Brene Brown vulnerability because she has done the work. So here's the thing. I naturally am very, very vulnerable. I make myself very vulnerable very easily, and it bites me in the butt all the time, but I feel like I don't really have a choice in the matter. Remember my ex-boyfriend, who's a great human being, but when we first started dating, he was like, I haven't cried he's like, I can't remember the last time, maybe during Gladiator? And then by the time we were finished dating, he cried all the time because our time together, I cry at the drop of a hat. So I think at first it made him really uncomfortable, but then after a while he realized, and he would say like, it's really a strength that you can access this part of yourself and you can go so deep and you don't feel afraid, right? So Brene Brown says, vulnerability sounds like truth and feels like courage. So when we're vulnerable and we're speaking our truth, people are going to respond. And some people, it'll make them feel uncomfortable because they don't know how to access that part of themselves, but we still have to stick to our guns. She also says that we have to have the courage to be imperfect. That's hard, right? If you watch the intro episode, and if you haven't, you should. I'll put it up at the end of the show. Basically, I told you that my struggle here is to be imperfect. So like I could turn off all these lights and you would just see me in my like dour existence. But I can't, I don't know, it's hard. It's hard to look imperfect because you know that the only way that maybe you're gonna get the attention that you want or people will listen to or take you seriously is because they see that you are aspirational or they have nothing to pick apart. Not the best. She says, if you trade authenticity for safety, you may experience the following: anxiety, depression, eating disorders, rage, blame, resentment, and inexplicable grief. So that's what I'm asking of you. This week, be authentic, be vulnerable. If there's somebody where you think you may have screwed up and something's up, you can feel the vibe is off, have the courage and to be vulnerable to them and say, hey, did I do something, or is everything okay? Figure out if there's something that you need to apologize for. And if not, they maybe will open up to you and you'll give them permission to be vulnerable about what's happening with them. If you haven't done anything wrong, but they're struggling with something, by saying to them, I feel like something's not right between us, gives them the opportunity to then say, no, we're okay, but I'm struggling because I have a sick family member, or, I've really been stressed because of this or that. And it gives you the opportunity to then be there for them and create a stronger bond. I'm all about creating a stronger community. Also, this whole to trade your authenticity for safety. To me, that means, let's think about Instagram, for example. Trading authenticity for safety in that situation would be not looking like a real person because you know that you're supposed to look perfect. And so what it says is that you could experience anxiety, check, depression, check, eating disorders, I see it all the time, rage, blame, resentment, inexplicable grief. So when we're not allowed to look like human beings, these are the things that happen. So don't think it's crazy that this is happening to you. It's absolutely natural that when we are pulling ourselves out of our natural way of being and our imperfect humanness in order to please, that we're going to fall into these categories of not being healthy and being unbalanced. So this week, the goal, post one picture that is ugly, that is real. Post one picture where you're like, Fugly Friday, hashtag, because it's an exercise in courage and vulnerability and realness. Post one picture that is ugly, no filters, that looks like you really look. And I promise you, people will respond. People will respond. We're hungry for it. Anyway, that was church. Have the best week. Love you. Mean it. We will see you tomorrow with a fresh episode of Funny Talented Nobodies. If you're into it, subscribe, ring the bell. Okay, see ya.